So, someone who has influenced my self concept over the course of my life, I would say, is my grandparents, my grandma and my grandpa on my mom's side. Um, my parents are great, but I was really super close to my grandparents growing up. I spent a lot of time with them. We lived with them for a time, and when my parents would go to work when I was little, I would stay with them all day. Um, so, yeah, definitely plenty of opportunity for them to help to shape my self concept. Um, it wasn't like looking back, I think it was more um, me like witnessing their actions, and that kind of gave me a great sense of like their values and things that they valued in other people. Um, for instance, my grandparents were both really hard workers. My grandma was a stay-at-home mom. Um, a lot of her kids were born in Mexico and then they came out here, and my grandpa was always away working. So she pretty much raised the family by herself, 8 kids. And so she was always working at home. My grandpa was always working. He was a field worker and did his best to support his family. And so they always really valued like someone being a super hard worker, you know, for themselves, their kids, and like they valued that quality in strangers or people that were outside of the family as well. So it definitely sort of shaped my opinion of it. And a part of my self concept is I'm a hard worker. That's something that's it's sort of in there. It's a perceived feeling that I value, and a quality that I value about myself. And so then I do my best to kind of put that out there in the world, and portray that image, because I feel that that's a big part of who I am. Another thing I think would be if we ever brought friends to the house, like when I was older and I would bring friends over, or people, would come into the house to meet my grandma for the first time, whether it was someone's boyfriend or girlfriend, or, a friend, or just like someone new, whoever. My grandma was always a very super hospitable person and welcomed everyone into her home and was super warm and just caring, and always wanted to be like feeding people, and made them feel as if they were in their own home, just like super comfortable. And I think that seeing her example of that has made me such a more warm person, and that's definitely a way that I perceive myself. And that image that I try to give to other people of me, like I am that nurturing friend. I'm the friend that people go to when they need comfort. That's who I am, and that's who my grandmother was actually. Now that I can kind of like look back on it, that's definitely the person that she was in our family, and like to her neighborhood and her community that she lived in for like years and years, decades and decades and decades. And she passed away in her home, surrounded by love and people that were giving back to her what she had given them, which was, that value of how being a super comforting and kind person when people are in a time of need is like a very important quality to have. And I think that all of these things that they've taught me was something that, like, everything has really influenced my self-esteem and my confidence, and it's shaped the way that I view myself and the way that I view others and the way that I treat other people. And so I think that they influence my self-concept in a super positive way. Thank goodness, because they totally made me who I am and who I perceive myself to be too.